Hello, Professor. My name is Taylor Krasia, and today I'm going to be talking to you about two more general education competencies. For the first one, written communication, the goal is to be able to express ideas clearly and effectively through writing. For this writing assignment, we had to shout out a speech-language pathologist. In the writing assignment, we had to give background info on the SLP, background info on the client, research the client's diagnosis, and give information from the session. Here's an example of me rating appropriately according to the audience. The sentence says, Jennifer Sullivan is a speech-language pathologist. Since I know what my teacher knows what a speech-language pathologist is, I don't go on explaining what that means. Maybe if it was another teacher, I would take the time to explain what exactly a speech-language pathologist is. And in this portion, I talk about the client's diagnosis, which shows that I understand the purpose of the paper. Here, I use appropriate content to illustrate comprehension of a subject. In this highlighted area, I'm telling you about things that I already knew about autism, so these came from my own brain, which shows that I understand the subject that I'm talking about. Here I use appropriate conventions when needed, like commas, periods, and quotation marks. Here's an example of me using a bunch of different relevant sources in order to describe what exactly epilepsy is. In this chunk, I talk about exactly what went on in the session. I'm describing with clarity because I'm using details, and fluency because I'm going in chronological order of what happened in the session. And last but not least, here's the work cited from that paper. Now moving on to the second competency, reading fluency. The goal is to be able to read and understand primary and secondary sources. For this writing assignment was pretty straightforward. We just had to do a research paper on the book Animal Farm by George Orwell and how it relates to history. Here's an example of primary and secondary sources, the secondary source being the website Animal Farm and Karl Marx, and the primary source being the book Animal Farm. In this paragraph, I talk about one of the main characters in the book Animal Farm, and I go on to describe some main supporting ideas that character did throughout the whole book. Explaining the possible implications of a text beyond its explicit message was basically the whole idea of the paper, taking symbols from the book Animal Farm and correlating them to history, in my case, the Russian Revolution. Throughout my whole paper, I'm evaluating the text for significance, but in the conclusion especially, I go over the relevance of the characters and which exact people that they correlate to in the Russian Revolution just one last time. And here I'm analyzing textual features like the main characters of the book, the setting of the book, and symbols in the book. And last but not least, here is the work cited from my Animal Farm essay. And I hope you enjoyed my interpretation of the general education competencies, writing communication, and reading fluency, and have a great day.